So today we are going to cover this topic, that is the photorespiration. So photorespiration, what do we understand with this term? So photorespiration, it is a process in the plant metabolism that occurs when the photosynthetic tissues takes in the oxygen and they producing the carbon dioxide in the presence of the light. Okay. So this is photorespiration, and what is actually going on in the photosynthesis, where carbon dioxide is being fixed and it is producing the organic compound in the form of the carbohydrate or the glucose in the simple form, we can say, with the help of the light. Okay, so this process, this photosynthetic process is very helpful because plant is synthesizing their food, and it is a very important process because the form of ATP, the energy, chemical energy, and the reducing power, that is the NADPH, is being formed in the photosynthesis. But what is actually going on in the photorespiration, where the oxygen is being fixed and the carbon dioxide is being released? So it is a wasteful process. Why I am saying that this is a wasteful process? Because it does not produce any ATP, it does not produce NADPH. That is why it is a wasteful process. And the photorespiration, it involves the complex network of the enzyme reaction that exchange a metabolite between the chloroplast, and here the three organelles are involved. The chloroplast is involved, where the fixation of this oxygen taking place, and then the peroxisome, that is in the leaf peroxisomes, and mitochondria. So this whole process are involved in the photorespiration, and it also lowers the efficiency of the photosynthesis, potentially lowering the photosynthesis output by 25% in the C3 plant. Okay. And photorespiration was discovered in the 1959 by the Dicker and the Tio, who observed that the rate of respiration of the green leaves is much higher in the light than in the dark. So let's explore more about the photorespiration, its process, and all the different mechanisms that are taking place in the leaf and in the photosynthesis process. So C3 plant and the photorespiration. So we know that the plant have been adapted to the terrestrial life about 475 million years ago, and since then anatomical and the metabolic adaptations were there to address the challenges of the dehydrations. So, in the photosynthesis, we know the stomata, they play a very important role because these are the micropores present on the leaves. These are the stomata. And what actually they do? They are responsible for the entry of the CO2 inside the leaves and the exit of the oxygen. Okay, so the transpiration, it is the main avenue for the transpiration for the evaporative water loss. So the closing the stomata may conserve the water but reduces the carbon dioxide level. Suppose this stomata is now open, so it allows the entry of the carbon dioxide inside the leaf. Now if this stomata is closed like this, so the carbon dioxide will not get entered inside the leaf. So in this way, the loss of the water, the transpiration can be stopped because the stomata is now being closed and it conserves the water. But in the same way, it is also reducing the carbon dioxide level, affecting the photosynthesis. So here comes the C3 plant and the photorespiration phenomena, that in the C3 plant that uses the C3 pathway or the Kelvin cycle pathway. So where we have seen that in the C3 plant, the initial carbon fixation take place by a Rubisco enzyme. Okay, so it is producing the 3 carbon compound, that is the 3 phosphoglycerate. Okay, now what happened? The photorespiration used to occur when the stomata, it used to occur in the C3 plant only when the stomata closer leading to the decreased carbon dioxide and increased oxygen concentration. Okay, so the mechanism is that now the ribosco enzyme will add or fixes the oxygen in the place of the carbon dioxide. Okay, so as a ribosco they add the oxygen instead of the carbon dioxide to the Kelvin cycle, leading to the carbon dioxide release without any sugar formation. And also it consume the energy, means it also consume the ATP. So it is very energetically costly process. Why? Because it is using the ATP is being utilized and no sugar production is there in the process of the photorespiration. Okay, so this photorespiration is evolutionary origin, because the photorespiration we know from the ancient atmosphere where we had the with the less oxygen and the more carbon dioxide. So ribosco basically they have the affinity. Ribosco is an enzyme that fixes both the carbon dioxide as well as the oxygen. So the modern Rubisco retains some chances for the affinity for the oxygen due to its ancient evolution only. That is why it is also fixing, or it also combines with the oxygen, not only with the carbon dioxide, as it is already discussed in the C3 pathway. Okay, so the functions is suggested that it provide the protection against damaging the product of the light reaction. So these photorespiration they have the impact of the carbon fixation, because the carbon drain is going on with the process of the photorespiration, and we know it is a very wasteful process because it does not produce any chemical energy or any NADPH. So photorespiration can drain up to 50% of the carbon dioxide which is fixed by the Kelvin cycle. So, indirectly, the reduction in the photorespiration, if it take place, then it can enhance the crop yield as well as it enhances the food supply. So, this is the introduction part of the photorespiration, how actually it got evolved, and when the photorespiration take place in the C3 plant, like in the C3 plant, when the stomata are closed, so the CO2 obviously gets a decrease in the quantity and the oxygen gets increase in the quantity. So